Hello and welcome back to AM 1220 KHTS, the Doc and Doc Show. We're here at 298-5487, and we have a call in right now from Gordon in Valencia. Gordon, can you go ahead and tell us what your question is?
Oh yeah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for calling.
I love your show. I listen to it all the time.
Then we love you, Gordon. How can we help you?
Anyways, I think more on Doc has pretty much explained to us all about the medicine for us men and all that.
Yes.
Well, I'm a little curious about the female side, you being a sex therapist.
Yes.
That, like when I go to my doctor with something, I say, what would you do? So my question to you is, like, what is your normal evening that turns you on?
Oh.
As your husband does for you, because I'm sure you tell him what to do exactly.
Now, how are you so sure about that, Gordon?
Being a sex therapist. So tell me exactly what I need to do. Don't pull any punches.
What do you mean what you need to do? For a woman to please her?
Well, to get it all started from the beginning to the end.
Oh,
what makes you happy? That's what I asked my doctor. Hey, doc, what makes you happy?
Well, you know, the difference.
What fixes you?
The difference in that and sex therapy and a therapist is the therapist never gives you personal information. So I'm really sorry. I don't do that.
But you're going to ask me.
But I'll tell you about
information.
Absolutely, that's my job.
On your couch.
Yeah, that's my job.
I'm asking. I'd like to do exactly what you do because you probably know exactly what to do correct because you're highly educated.
Well, I like to think that I am.
So tell me that story.
Well, I'd like to jump in here if you can. Gordon, I was listening to you, and there's a lot of things. So what you want to make sure you understand how to do is to actually stimulate your partner. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. May I misunderstood?
No.
Okay.
I would say it's from the getting started point.
You mean like at dinner or in bed?
Yes, you were talking red wine.
Oh, okay.
You were talking red shirt. Okay, I got those two down.
Oh, good.
Okay, and then you got all the vegetables in there, and
I'm
then
at the mall right now looking for a red shirt.
Well, thank you. But the other thing is there are some chemicals that you can use that women can use, like men have Viagra, so to speak, and women have.
No, I don't want a flipper or anything.
A flipper?
Slipper.
Oh, slipper. Oh, no.
Like put it in their drink or anything.
No, I don't mean like roofies or anything like that. What I'm talking about is a stimulation cream that helps women be more sexually active. There is a medicine, and it's interesting because what they were really smart about this. They made it over the counter, so you don't need a prescription for it. And what they put into it was like the same medicine that's in Viagra and the same medicine that they use for other type of male sex issues. And it turns it's a cream, and it's a cream. And believe it or not, guess what the name of the cream is? It's called the Scream Cream.
The
Scream Cream.
The Scream.
I know it sounds like what a funny name for it, but really it does work because it's been tested. So that was one thing that you could massage into the proper areas, and you wait 30 minutes, and by that time, Dr. Kurtz's 20-minute cuddling time will be about over, and then it should be time for a vacation or something.
But I think you want to know about seduction. How do you seduce a woman? And how you do that is to
How do you get seduced the best by your husband?
I want to talk about your life, Gordon. How do you seduce a woman? And you do that by valuing her, by treasuring her, by saying really nice things to her and making things all about her and caring. And I may be old school, but I think opening the doors and doing all of those nice things for her. And then she's going to think, wow, this is a nice guy. He really cares about me. And I can feel safe with him. I can trust him. So be nice. There was a calendar that was put out not long ago about what turns women on, and it had men vacuuming and holding babies and giving her presents. So
wearing red shirts probably too, right?
yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think they were wearing anything, just an apron.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Maybe it was a red apron.
Probably, yeah.
A red frilly apron. But I think women really like to be treasured and respected first. Talk to her about how she's doing, what her day is like, and then she's going to warm up to you. So intimacy is critical for women before you even get to sexuality. So, and I think that's across the board for all women. So I hope I've helped you.
That's very nice. That's very good.
Well, thank you for calling, Gordon.
Okay, well, thank you for having me.
And
Okay.
keep listening.
Okay, bye-bye.
I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
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 So here we are at AM 1220, 298-5487. We're ready to take more calls if you want. But now I think nobody's on the line, so maybe we can go to the top 5 reasons. Go ahead, Dr. Kurtz.
I'd like to talk about that. Why would people go to a sex therapist? I have to tell you, there is a difference, I think, culturally that I've noticed. In Beverly Hills, people are a little more open about sexuality in my Beverly Hills office, but I think in smaller towns, people are quieter about their feelings and thoughts, and they're kind of ashamed of sexuality. Not ashamed, but they just don't want to talk about it. So let me just tell you, you are not alone. There are, and I looked up the top 5 reasons that people seek out a sex therapist, and see if you're one of those. We're not having sex anymore. I've just stopped. You know, that's the one. We just don't do it anymore. It's too much trouble. I'm disgusted. We're done. That a sex therapist can help you there. Number 2 is, I can't have an orgasm. It's for men or women. I can't have an orgasm. Easy to help. And then we've talked about this too, erectile dysfunction and early ejaculation or premature ejaculation. We like to call it early ejaculation, and that's with men. And the third, 5th now, that I wanted to talk about is painful sex. People who experience pain, and that's called, here's the big word, dyspareunia. And that means painful sex. Men can have that too, but women experience it more, and I'd like to bring Dr. Jenkins in on that, because there's the medical and the psychological piece, and a lot of my research says women in their 20s and 30s experience dyspareunia quite a bit, and postmenopausal women will have that for various reasons. How can you?
Well, for postmenopausal women, it's usually a decrease in the estrogen in their system.
Right.
So those women that want to, they take estrogen cream or estrogen pills. The cream is the very safest. The pills have a chance to cause some type of uterine cancer. So, and sometimes a small chance to cause breast cancer. But the cream works well, because what happens is that you get vaginal atrophy, which means that the vagina shrinks down and becomes impenetrable, really. It becomes so tiny that it tears to try to put anything in there. So the cream would be the best option for the menopausal women. The premenopausal women, then you have to look for other medical conditions like infections and irritations, sometimes small little tears, because you can imagine if you were to bite your cheek and it won't heal. It's a mucous membrane just like the vagina, and it won't heal, and you have a small infection that you can't really see it yourself. You're going to have to go to a person and let them get the little speculum light out and look in there for infections. And then there may be other infections that usually take a culture to find out if there's any unusual infections that you don't want to have, and then they can kind of put you back together again.
And please, please give yourself permission to say, no, I'm having some pain, or I think I have some irritation, and I'm going to take care of it and find out what's going on. But don't continue having sexual intercourse if you don't want to, and if it hurts. No one should have painful sex. So give yourself permission to be human and to say, gosh, there's something going on, and it's not pleasurable for me, and I'm gonna find out what's going on, gonna go to my doctor, and then sometimes it's psychological.
That's right, and I was thinking about, you were talking about the time, is because you probably have seen pictures of some tribe from Africa that puts neck rings around their neck and makes it really, really long and stretching out. Mm-hmm. The truth is that the vagina is like any other tissue in our body, very pliable, and you can stretch it any way you need to, as long as you take time.
Well, they say the vagina can take something as small as a pencil or as large as a baby's head, so it does expand, and there's a disorder called Vaginismus, where the muscles of the vagina contract and then they won't let anything in, and many times that is psychological. That comes from fear. It can come from something is going inside my head, I'm angry with you, or I have some things that happen to me, maybe some sexual abuse, and I need to address that. Because sex should be fun. I wanted to go back to saying no to sexual intercourse. That does not mean saying no to sexuality. You can certainly pleasure your spouse. They can pleasure you in different ways. It's not a one-size-fits-all, folks. I mean, sex can be so much fun, and there can be so many different ways to pleasure each other and to really enjoy each other. So don't feel like you're being rejecting.
Oh, that's great news. I was wondering on the vaginismus, do you think that's mostly psychological, or is it mechanical?
You'll have to answer the mechanical. I think a lot of it is psychological. I think when we're afraid, if we're holding on to something and we think we're going to lose it, or we don't want it, then we hold on even tighter. And the vagina has muscles, and sometimes that happens with women, and it can be due to so many things, and that's where sex therapy can be very helpful, where you can finally talk about what's going on, and it's very non-judgmental, compassionate, empathetic, and helpful. So please do yourself a favor and get the help that you need on that.
And I'm thinking that if you have vaginismus or dyspareunia, you have to make sure that you have nothing medically wrong with you. After that, it's therapy. And the therapist it's a lot better and a lot easier than taking a medicine or a cream or anything like that. It's best just to work out whatever problem you may be having that's causing this, because as Dr. Kurtz said, the vagina has muscles all around it. So you've heard of people having muscle spasms. Guess what? You're having a muscle spasm there, and everything locks up because of fear most of the time.
Fear. Fight or flight.
Yeah.
Fight or flight. So we don't want you to have that. I'd like to mention 10 complaints that people talk about, too, to go to sex therapy. Is that all right with you?
That sounds fun.
Okay. Performance issues, everybody, and I feel like, are you really a bear on a stage? You don't have to have the pressure to perform and dance, but you want everything to work well and to work right, and there are a lot of psychological things. A lot of couples come in, one wants to spice it up, and the other is not interested at all. Sometimes talking about that in a good way and negotiating can help both of you. Many times there's a difference in libido, and that can be situational. If someone is home taking care of children and the house, and they're exhausted by the end of the day, so there may be a difference in libido. They want more of an emotional connection with their partner, and you've got to talk to each other and learn how to touch to have that emotional connection. One that I think we don't talk about very often is having an ill partner. Long-term illness and the spouse is left and feeling guilty because they want to be sexual and yet their partner is ill. I think sometimes referring to a therapist is a good way to go. Do you have anything to say about that?
I hadn't even thought about that, but I'm glad you brought that up. Many times there's a partner that's really ill or terminal, and I think lovemaking is way down the list.
That is
there's loving, but lovemaking is way down the list when somebody's in the ICU or in hospice and things like that.
Right. And Maslow's theory is survival first. I mean, people want to survive, and when they are sick and then their partner is healthy, it can be very frustrating. So how can you be loving? And you can integrate that, but it depends on the partner's illness. Some people feel they're stuck in a sexless marriage. I hear that a lot. Don't think you're the only one, please. I hear that often. Can we get it back? Can you get back to rock and roll? Absolutely, you can. And some women say that I think I've already answered. They can't orgasm the real way. There is no real way, and it certainly isn't just through intercourse, and that they have mismatched desires. One wants one thing, the other doesn't. They go against each other. So we talk about how we can negotiate that and how we can make sure that everybody gets their needs met. It's really a lot of fun to work on that. I have a patient in Beverly Hills that I've been seeing for a while, and he said, Dr. Kurtz, I'm not as anxious, and I'm feeling a lot better in the past few weeks. And I said, well, that's because you're in therapy with me. And we laugh and have a good time. But, people come in to see me with the weight of the world on their shoulders, and when they leave, after some time, there's a bounce in their step, and I love to see that. I truly do.
That's really interesting. I was going to bring up one more quick point before we go to break again, is that we're talking about positions, we've talked about how to arouse each other, but you have to remember that the biggest arousal is the brain. That's why people have, wet dreams. They're not touching each other, they're not touching anything. They're just their mind is so strong and powerful. There's such an erotic scene in their mind that they have orgasm right through sleeping.
Women have wet dreams.
No, I know. I've said
okay.
Everybody has wet dreams, but you don't need anything else. You don't need a pill or a cream or anything. All you need to do is have your mind work.
Well, and with men, the wet dream is obvious to men, but with women, they can wake up and say, oh, what just happened? And they can have an orgasm. So the brain is absolutely the number one sex organ, and we have to, instead of concentrating on the genitals, because that'll just fall into place when we get the brain to working. So it's really important. Please call us at 298-5487 with your concerns, anything you'd like for us to address or talk about. We're here for you. Our offices are open.
Well, I think we'll come right back after this break in a moment here and talk about some more items. And if anybody has any more phone calls, please call us. We're going to go to break here, and we're going to finish up with some other notes we have about about sex therapy and sexuologies. And maybe we can have some jokes if you have any jokes.
Jokes? Oh, I love jokes.
Okay.
And laughter is great for sexuality.
Good. So we're going to go on break right about now. So we're at AM 1220 KHTS. We're at 298-5487, right in downtown historic Newhall. So please come back and join us. This is the Doc and Doc Show with Dr. Jenkins and Dr. Kurtz. Thank you.
Hi,
oh, sorry.
And we're just talking here. We're having a good time.
We're having fun, sorry.
When the commercials are on, we're having a great time. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something without dropping it. We're talking about dyspareunia and when sex becomes painful and there are problems. There is a new treatment out that I've heard about. I am certainly not a physician, but I have talked to a physician in town who does this, and we're going to have her on the show. She wants to come and talk about it, but I'll do a little preview in August. And it's something called Therm Eva, and it seems to be highly successful. It takes about 30 minutes. You have 3 treatments, 30 minutes. It's an infrared treatment that is supposedly painless, goes in the vagina and touches all the areas. It increases collagen, helps women to lubricate, much better, easier. Orgasm is better. So sounds like the miracle treatment, and I truly have been doing a lot of research, and all of the reviews, I think 97% of people really like it. It's compared to some major surgeries, it's inexpensive. It runs from like $2,500 to $4,000, I think, for 3 treatments. It's about $1,000 a treatment, and you have it maybe once a year, but that may be something to look at. I can't wait till we can get Dr. Pusher to come in and talk to us about it. She's having a baby now, probably as we speak, so she can't exactly join us, but Therm Eva sounds very, very promising for women who want this. What do you know about it?
I haven't heard about it. I know that for the dermatologist, they do these light treatments for the face to increase collagen, et cetera, decrease wrinkles, decrease brown spots. But is this different from like the sexual rejuvenation surgery?
I think the sexual rejuvenation is actually surgery. This, there is no downtime. You go in on your lunch break, take a sandwich, eat your sandwich or salad while you're having this done. And it's supposed to work pretty well. No pain, no downtime. This is what I have heard. So that's the rumor, but I think there's a lot of promise. I keep looking for some negatives on it because I like to know the good and the bad, and I certainly don't want to recommend it unless I know more about it. So I can't wait to hear more.
Is there any downtime after that?
No.
Wow.
No.
So it sounds like a happy hour treatment.
Yeah, happy. You go back to work, and we have a doctor in town who does that. So I think it's exciting. The other treatment can run from, I think, $10,000 to $25,000. That's a lot of cash. So, but this treatment sounds promising, and there is more for women now. So we've had the pills for men, and so maybe women are getting a lot more research and a lot more treatment. So I'm happy to hear that.
Good, that's good. I'm gonna look it up. I never heard of it. So, I don't now. I have on the report. I have been working on trying to get a plastic surgeon to come to the show so that we can talk to them about plastic surgery treatments and how that affects loving and having sex and things like that. So, I think.
Do we get a discount?
Of course.
Oh, good.
Always get a discount.
Oh, good.
Yay. I don't know if people know this, but at the show here, we have to bring our own water in.
Yeah.
They don't provide water for us.
Yeah, here we are. We're these experts, we're well educated, and we have to bring our own water in. It's kind of sad.
It's kind of sad, yeah.
I know, we keep waiting for our big check to come in.
Exactly.
But truly, we're here for the community. We are here for you. We want to answer your questions. Ignorance is not bliss. It makes you miserable. So please give us a call the next show. Write in your questions. We're here for you, and our offices are open.
Yeah, that's right. And we're going to close out the show now. Thanks for listening, and thanks for the call in we had today. And we are at AM 1220 KHTS. Our phone number is 298-5487. You can check more about us on our website. And thank you very much, and have a great day.